I'd like to call to order the Monday, May 4th, 2026 City Council meeting. With a record of attendance, Rhonda, please.
Baker.
Here.
Bizzle.
Here.
Drake.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Teachout.
Here.
Turnbow.
Here.
And Ware.
Here.
We'll start off with the opening prayer by Tom Robinson and Pledge of Allegiance by Matt Drake.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the opportunity to care for the world you have made. We ask that your blessing would rest on this council, that you would give us great vision and enthusiasm for our work. Please bless the efforts of our hands, the bonds between us, and the influences of our work in this community. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Item on the agenda is the approval of City Council minutes of March 30th, 2026, April 6th, 2026, and council reorganization minutes of April 15th, 2026. Are there any changes or comments? Seeing none, the chair would accept a motion.
Make a motion. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we're going to open to a public hearing. The chair would accept a motion to open public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? JD, we are now in public hearing.
Sure. I'll kind of introduce the budget, and then if the mayor or if the council or members of the public have any questions, happy to try to answer those. You have in your packet tonight the first draft of the fiscal year 2027 budget. Our fiscal year at the city starts July 1st. We will also have budget discussions on June 1st, and then final adoption on June 8th. And we can also schedule whatever extra meetings council may want to discuss the budget if needed. You can make any changes to the budget between now and the time it's adopted that you would care to make. I'm willing to sit down with any of the council people privately, walk through the entire budget, take the time to do that if anyone would like, and answer any questions you may have. The overall context of this budget is that most of our major revenue sources are flat or down this year, most notably sales tax, but also interest, marijuana tax, franchise fees, while most of our cost drivers, personnel costs, insurance costs, fuel costs, equipment costs, vehicles, is up. Nevertheless, we've budgeted conservatively over the years and spent carefully. And we're in good financial position, is the way I'd say, to weather a hopefully temporary downturn in some of our revenues. We have very healthy fund balances or reserves to kind of carry us through some of that stuff. So I'm not recommending any large structural changes, service changes or anything like that at this time. Some highlights of the budget. We're continuing on the construction of Fire Station 2 this year. It's projected to be finished in November or December of this year, and then we'll be talking about what to do with the old Fire Station 2. And really, we can start those talks whenever we like. Ingram Interchange, MoDOT has submitted the access justification review, which is the document they have to submit to Federal Highways to get any new access to the future interstate approved. So we are waiting on final approval of that. We have received conditional approval pending some of the environmentals being completed. We have some money in reserves that we can hopefully use to match a state or federal grant to finish out that project. And we've been working with our legislators and the governor on getting funding for that. So we're hopeful that can happen this year. This year will be the first year of the new Sikeston-Scott County Dispatch merger. That was completed in the last year, so this will be our first full year of it. We do have about $688,000 coming from the county for that contract, and another $499,000 from the new 911 sales tax, and they do some revenue sharing with the different dispatch centers in the county. ShotSpotter system is about $99,000 a year. We had a 3-year grant for that. In the last fiscal year, we paid out or we received the last of those grant funds. So this year, we're fully funding that locally. We do strongly support continuing that. It has been a great success. Just as recent as last night, we had a ShotSpotter alert, no 911 call, and DPS responded to that ShotSpotter alert, made an arrest, and seized several weapons. So it is working great. This budget dedicates about $4.2 million to streets and drainage. That's between the transportation sales tax and the capital improvement sales tax. About $1 million of that is for a contracted street maintenance program. Jay will be talking more about that later tonight. And then about $400,000 of it is for design and right-of-way acquisition for a large drainage project on the north side of town that we want to get. And Jay may speak a little bit about that later too. And then we have several CDBG drainage projects underway right now. They'll be finishing out in this budget year. The budget includes a 3% wage increase for all employees. Looking at what other municipalities and counties are doing, what Social Security increase was, we think that amount keeps us competitive with who we're working around. And then the budget contains a lot of other more mundane projects that are not so exciting to talk about here, but willing to answer any questions. We can answer those now. If you have questions later, feel free to send those to me, and I'll get the answer out to all the council people. And again, you can direct any changes to what's in here right now. You're not bound to this in any way, and we will, if there's no other changes directed, we will just bring this back to you June 1st for first reading on all the ordinances. So I'd suggest taking public comment. And
Does anybody have any comments or questions for JD at this time? Seeing none, the chair accepts motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now out of public hearing and moving on to the other items of business. The next item is to request to renew prosecuting attorney contract, and that falls to Amanda.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here this evening to propose a new prosecuting attorney contract. This contract is for Tabitha. She handles both our prosecuting and our city councilor roles for the city. This contract is a 1-year contract. There are no material changes from her previous contract.
Any questions or comments? Now the chair will accept the motion.
Make a motion to approve city prosecutor contract.
Second.
Motion made second. Roll call vote. Rhonda, please.
Bizzle,
Aye.
Drake,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Teachout,
Yes.
Turnbow,
Yes.
Ware,
Yes.
and Baker.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. The next item is request to renew municipal judge contract. And Amanda, you have the floor again.
Along those same lines, I'm here to request a renewal for the judge's contract for Judge Marshall. Judge Marshall has been our municipal judge since 1993. This is a 1-year contract for him. There is a slight increase in that. However, Judge Marshall's contract has not been increased in well over 3 years. So he's asked for a slight increase, in which we found an acceptable amount. So I'm asking for the renewal of his contract for the 1-year time frame.
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the municipal judge contract.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote, Rhonda, please.
Drake,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Teachout,
Yes.
Turnbow,
Yes.
Ware,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
and Bizzle.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is request to approve change order for drainage improvements along Lynn Street Ditch. And Mr. Lancaster.
Mr. Lancaster. Mr. Mayor, for this project, JD, city manager, spoke about several projects coming and in the process of happening right now. One of those is a two-part project that is addressing stormwater needs in the Anderson-Applegate area, something that's been needed for some time. We were finally able to secure some great grant money through the CDBG program for that. It's caught the attention of a lot of folks. A lot of folks have seen the work happening there as they drive down Malone, see the big ditch improvements along the old railroad right-of-way. One of the things that has come to our attention, and Mr. John Chittenden is here with me, Waters Engineering is our consultant for this large CDBG project. One of the things that many people came to me and asked was, are you going to rock that whole thing? Are you going to rock that whole thing? Are you going to rock it? And what we had hoped to be able to accomplish to save money was, the first level of defense is to put rock or something to reduce that energy in areas where it's highest, which is going to be at outlets coming right out of the pipe, making turns, things of that nature. In the straightaway there, we were hopeful that we would be able to establish turf and that would be able to suffice. One of the challenges we have in that corridor that not many people know is that there is, unlike many stormwater channels, there is almost always a flow of water through there because of excess coming from a water plant. I believe there's also some excess coming from the HVAC, some of the stuff that comes out through the system through Mo Delta. So it's hard to catch that channel ever dry. And what we have learned and what John is recommending is, despite this not being our first plan, of going ahead and rocking the entire channel, and which is something we hoped we wouldn't need to do, but we feel, I would say John feels that is best. I also feel that that's best. It doesn't appear with the events we've had so far that bank is going to remain stable without some sort of additional assistance. He has prepared a change order, which the revised version was given to you before the meeting. It should have been in front of you. The additional rock, and there's some different pages in here showing the different aspects of it. I think we are looking at an additional, is it 1,700 tons? Is that what you have in here? Give or take, but it was a change to the contract of $88,557.65, and that's on an overall contract that's about 1.4 million. We have set aside some money in the budget for possible increases due to this that I worked out with JD in the budget, and staff is recommending that we approve this change order. We think it'll be the best for this corridor. We hoped we wouldn't have to do it, but now we feel like it's a necessity. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them, but we're looking for approval on this change order.
So Jay, the rock will cover both banks all the way around to the curve to the bridge, is that right? Or how far will it go?
It'll go about 15 feet up the slope, side slope.
Both sides.
Well above the water level that would see at peak times.
Does that slow down the water any, or no?
Well, it's, the whole slope is 20 feet. So if you optically, if you've seen the culverts that come in on the south side off of them, will be up above the top of those pipes there. Plenty of rip to protect that ditch forever. do it now.
But does it just go to the bridge? Does it,
It goes to the bridge, all where it makes the turn, where it slows down, and that's all ripped fully. Deep line fabric and stuff. This will be on fabric as well. It has to be as thick because it has to do as much work. Just keeps the bank stable.
This will be in the area that's in the straightaway between the outlet and the turn.
How's that going to affect the bike trail?
The bike trail is being, we kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, John, but we kind of shifted the center line of the ditch slightly south so that we can, and extended the bridge and the culverts there along Lynn so that we could, in that area along the ditch, the bike trail is going to hug Lynn Street.
But it's not, you're not ever going to go out onto Lynn Street.
No.
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 No, we built a wide shoulder over there when you move the ditch over. And we're doing the plans for the trail thing too, Daryl, what they're about doing. So we had to extend the culverts and that box, that old box that was under the had to be.
Yeah, the trail through there is going to basically hug the curb.
and that's probably going to be what, how wide is that?
We try to make to be an official, rail to trail bike trail is 10 feet. So we try to hold that.
Okay.
There's some poles in there we got to work around, but for the most part, I think we're good.
Any other questions or comments for Jay?
So that project we already have that project funded and ready to rock and roll on. We're just waiting for this CDBG project to get settled so that we can move forward with the trail.
I remember when I talked to you about it earlier, when we took the trestles out, you said it was going to be the culvert, you're going to be able to build the trail over the culvert without having to go out on the Lynn.
Yeah, we're not out on the Lynn. That's right. They actually extended that culvert a little bit to the south to make room.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept the motion.
I make a motion to approve the change order.
Go ahead.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote, Rhonda, please.
Robinson?
Yes.
Teachout?
Yes.
Turnbow?
Yes.
Ware?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Bizzle?
Yes.
And Drake.
Yes.
Thank you, Jay. The next item is request to approve 2026 street and drainage program. And are you taking that now, Jay, or is
Originally it was going to be Brian, but JD mentioned me talking about it, so I told Brian I'd just stay up here.
Okay, good deal.
After all, this is my last council meeting, so might as
true.
well make the most of it.
He's back there. It won't happen the next one.
As JD mentioned, we are ever trying to figure out what we need to do to make things better here from a street and drainage program perspective. We are constantly assessing the needs and trying to figure out ways to pay for them. Normally, bringing something like this to council would have happened probably in January or February. We would have involved others involved with it, but we have pumped the brakes on this program because we are waiting to see what happened with the budget, waiting to see what happened with the CDBG projects, with Greenbrier, with other things, trying to see, we had other grant applications, we were waiting to find out if they were going to be approved. So there was a need to kind of be patient with this. But we feel that now is the time, and we're going to run out of time at this point. But we have, through my staff with Brian Dow and Darren Martin, they have put together a list of projects. And you got something that looks like this. It might be not colored in your packet, but there's kind of a list at the top and a list at the bottom. And the list at the top is split into kind of an A and B. The top half of the top list is what is coming forth as their proposals for projects, and most of these are resurfacing projects. And then the other below that are some add alternate projects. One thing we always do is we always come up with more than we think we can afford because sometimes prices come in better than we expect, and sometimes we have to take something off the list because of some environmental concern, and we need something
ready to back it up. So what we have here is our primary list of projects and some backups. And then down at the bottom, just for your all's information, we plan to go back to CDBG for additional street work. We've done that once before. We're kind of letting the smoke clear on our projects we have now, but we're under the impression that we can go ahead and apply this year for additional street funds. And the list at the bottom is something we've kind of targeted for a possible CDBG list. So what we are looking for tonight is blessing and or input for us to move forward with developing a projects to cover the list on top as funding will allow. And for the sake of this project, we have, with CDBG, with all the drainage, with the stuff north of town, we have been working with Mr. Chittenden and Waters Engineering, and the City Council has always asked us to try to keep things balanced somewhat between Waters and Lambert. So for this street program, we're going to propose Lambert Engineering be the consultant for this program. So that's what we're looking for, is a blessing for us to develop this program as far as the money will take it, and to allow to work a engineering contract out for the design and inspection with Lambert Engineering.
Jay, I'm assuming the top list is the priority one, second?
Yeah.
Priority two?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Some of the things that are on there, for what it's worth, is including one of the big ones is Smith Street. That's one we get a lot of calls about. There's also need for us to dedicate some funding for the outer edges of Saucedo over by the kindergarten, where the base seems to be failing. If you've ever driven over there, you know what I'm talking about. But I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. And we'll be, before any CDBG applications come forth, they'll be coming back to you guys with those applications before we submit those.
Are there any questions or comments for Jay?
Yes. Jay, you got down here Virginia Street, find Ingram Road. Was there any consideration given to that small section in front of the car wash, starting at Buster Park? They're from South Main to.
We can definitely, as we have Lambert look into this, we can expand his scope to look into things like that. Absolutely.
Okay. They're from South Main to Maple.
I'll make that note.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions or comments?
Anything I'm forgetting back there, gentlemen?
Seeing none, the chair would accept the motion.
I'll make a motion that the mayor and council will give their blessings to Jay on this street project. That's what you're asking for.
Second the motion.
I'll second.
Oh, my goodness.
Lorenzo,
Oh, did he?
did you say?
Yes, Lorenzo.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, my goodness.
That's okay.
Okay, what's, oh my goodness for?
Two of those.
There's not an attachment on the last one. I must not have given it to her.
He's talking about the next thing.
Sorry. I was looking to look through that contract, and it's not there. And apparently we didn't provide it.
Roll call vote.
I passed it out.
Huh?
Passed it out.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
it's here.
Okay.
Roll call vote, Rhonda, please.
Teachout,
Yes.
Turnbow,
Yes.
Ware,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bizzle,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
and Robinson.
Yes.
Then the next item is request to execute engineering services agreement for drainage projects.
All right, here we go. One more, and this is not listed in your street program thing, but one of the things that council has has made a priority is dealing with some of our most severe drainage needs. And over the last couple of years, we've dealt with several of those. We've done some work in Greenbrier, where we're obviously taking care of Anderson and Applegate. We've dealt with piping in John R. area. and Holmes area, and some other areas as well. One of the areas that continues to challenge is the drainage to the north, which makes its way through the watershed, across Main Street, and into the Greenbrier Ditch system, making its way to the Richland Drainage District system. One of the things that some of you may have been here long enough and some of you may not, that we did apply for a very large CDBG disaster mitigation grant to take care of this whole project. We were unsuccessful in getting those funds. No great funding source presents itself right now. So myself and the city manager and I believe the mayor sat down and we were talking about, okay, if we can't do it all, how can we get some forward moving progress? So what I am proposing and have proposed to these gentlemen and to all of you is in an effort to do some forward progress to begin the design process of what is needed for stormwater improvements on the east and west of Maine in the Greenbrier Ditch area to determine to help preparations for a grant application, to get kind of designs on the shelf ready to rock and roll, and prepare right-of-way plans to acquire any necessary right-of-way so we can handle any of the upfront design, any environmental concerns, any right-of-way concerns, and get all of that done so that when grant funds become available, we'll be more in that, what people like to call shovel ready, have everything kind of ready to rock and roll. So we have, I think you have in front of you, a contract from Waters Engineering. They'll be performing preliminary services, data collection, field surveys, conceptual design development, cost estimating, assistance with right-of-way identification and acquisition. They'll also complete preliminary design engineering and preparation of detailed drawings. They have a lump sum on there of $140,000, consisting of, I think, $10,000 is in preliminary work and soil borings and things of that nature, and $130,000 for the design engineering. This represents a step of forward progress. My proposal of what I put in the budget for this year was to fund this contract and set aside funds for the acquisition of right-of-way, so that for next grant cycle we have everything in place to be able to shift to construction and seek those dollars. So that's what this is about. If you guys have questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Mr. Chitten's here if you want to ask questions to him. But this is an effort to, like I said, make some forward progress on the Greenbrier drainage issues. What we are looking for in this, because there are multiple steps to the solution to the problem, I will tell you that the main ones we're focused on with this right now is improvements to the ditch itself between the railroad and Maine, and more importantly, some sort of basin collection system on the east side of Maine, upstream. And this would solve multiple solutions. It would reduce the water coming into that area, which would help with flooding. It would help with just limitations of the system, and it would help with keeping water out of Richland Drainage District that is coming from the east. So it would solve multiple problems. And John and I believe that we might work on this first part of it and might not need supplemental work for some time.
Look at this. If you all remember what you were saying, you remember what that looked like before we did the industrial park after the rain? You remember that was one of the, it held water forever. And look what it is now. Well, we're talking about using that same concept that works so well in the industrial park up north of town. And the beauty of these things that Jay's come up with, and we've worked, this is under our control. We're not at the mercy of MoDOT or the railroad or Richland Drainage District. These are improvements that we can do, and nobody's gonna stop us, except, of course, need money to buy some land. And we've done initial contacts with the landowners. Everybody seems to be favorable. I mean, there's some reasonability there that I haven't seen in my lifetime. And I think it's a real opportunity to get something done that we can control and won't be at the mercy of anyone. So,
Well said.
A lot of y'all, if y'all know that area he's talking about, I don't remember until recently, that water was going over Highway 61, you know, on the north side of town. And hopefully this would help alleviate all that water going across, which MoDOT, huh? And you know what that does? I mean, and also whenever you're looking at that, when you're talking about emergency services going to the hospital from the north side and all that, trying to get through, and if you don't do something like that eventually, if we don't do something, one of these times somebody's gonna have an emergency on the north end and they're gonna have to go all the way around because water's too deep to go down 61.
But you're still gonna have to have a bigger pipe under the railroad, right?
In the long-term plan, yes. I mean, that would be ideal, but what we've learned is that
You can keep it on.
that can take an exceptionally long time to get approved.
Okay, but if we can keep the water on the east side, then you think we won't have that problem?
The hope is that we can reduce the water enough that we don't need a bigger pipe.
there's a very good chance that'll work. It depends on the geology, how, we're gonna drill a bunch of holes that don't know how deep to go to get what we call sugar sand. That just, you just keep pouring water to it, it keeps going away. We get into that, we can make it work. Railroads, have you all noticed that we just drilled a hole under the railroad for BMU for this water thing where we got town all tore up over there? Anyway, after going through that with the railroad company, I'm not sure we would ever get a permission to put a pipe under there. And they charge us an unbelievable amount of money for permits and fees and inspectors and piping, and railroad worker in charge is $40,000 worth of fees just for pipe. Small one.
So basically, in simple terms, you're holding the water back, letting it percolate down before it gets
No,
there.
I get it. If we can keep it on the east side of the highway, then we don't have to worry about it.
East and north,
Railroad.
pretty much, yeah.
And for what it's worth, I mean, and I'm not going to go into naming names or anything, this has involved me meeting with pretty much all the landowners in the area and discussing this with them. So they have all been at the table talking to us. They're not, this is not something that's new to them.
Any more questions or comments for Jay? Chair will accept the motion.
I make a motion, we approve the agreement with preliminary design engineering services.
Second that.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote, Rhonda, please.
Turnbow,
Yes.
Ware,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bizzle,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
And Teachout.
Yes.
Can I add one thing?
Yes.
In case this is my last meeting, it has been an honor and a privilege serving my hometown for the last 13 years, serving all of you and working with all of you. And it's a very bittersweet thing, and I wish nothing but wonderful things. Can't wait to hear about all the wonderful things that are happening. So thank you to all, making working with all of you such an easy and great thing. So.
And going forward from here, stay up here, Jay, for just 1 second. Honestly, working through Jay for years, he's been with us. He has made Sikeston a better place. Selfishly, he lives here, so he wants to make it better for him and his family. But unselfishly, he doesn't care where he has to make progress. He does it, and he works very hard at it. And he's an asset that Sikeston's going to be very sorry that he's going to be gone. Now, the person that comes in to replace him's got some big shoes to fill, that's for daggum sure. But I just want to say that on behalf of myself and the city council, I'm feeling very confident of this, that Jay couldn't have asked for a better person to support Sikeston and be in our stead. So I'd just like to thank Jay.
Appreciate it very much.
But you owe me 11 months.
That's right.
We have a walk-on to this. It's the request for approval for rapid warn weather alerting. And Ryan Smith, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening. We'll make this fun and exciting. Sikeston DPS respectfully request approval to purchase and implement a rapid warn automatic manual activation system for the city's existing outdoor warning siren network. The rapid warn system enables unattended activation during emergency situations, allowing dispatch personnel to remain focused on critical police, fire, and emergency medical communications. Following our consolidation with Scott County 911, the DPS dispatchers are responsible for activating outdoor warning sirens for Sikeston along with 6 additional communities. Actually, it's 5 additional communities I found out about today. This expanded responsibility increases the potential for delays during high call volume events. Implementation of the rapid warn system would significantly enhance reliability and operational efficiency. Some key benefits, like I said, reduce reliance on manual activation by dispatch personnel, have built-in redundancy, allows us to have that system that is our primary system to activate the storm sirens, as well as a backup being the dispatchers for manual activation. Decreased risk of delayed siren activation during periods of high call or radio traffic, enhanced diagnostic and testing capabilities for the Sikeston siren system, which makes this the sole vendor. Our system is a Wayland storm system, and the vendor that we're talking to is who currently handles all of our storm siren stuff. And this is a product sold by them, which has features built into it that would allow us to more frequently test or silent test our Sikeston weather warning system. It would go out, send a signal out to each of the storms locations. I believe there's 7 in the city right now. And then it would get a response from each of those siren locations and let us know what the status of them are. If it needs any type of work, if batteries are low, or if it's experiencing some type of issue. Right now, currently, we only test, everybody says we test daily. You hear the chimes are about noon every day in town, but we don't have somebody at each of those 7 locations to be able to tell us, did the chimes play? Did it work? Did it work like it was supposed to? This would send the signal out and get a response from each of those sirens. Outdoor Warning Consulting, like I said, is the current service provider, offers the system and integrates with our existing infrastructure and provides two-way testing and detailed diagnostic reporting. The cost for the purchase and implementation is $20,675, with an approximate ongoing annual cost of $2,000 for maintenance and system updates. We do have funding that's available in the current 911 budget. We were waiting, we've been talking about this project for a few months, or I have, was kind of waiting on this, getting closer to the current budget year to see how the 911 merger and things up in dispatch were playing out, see what funds we had available. So, like I said, DPS is just seeking approval to proceed with this purchase and implementation of the system.
So currently, it's all manual, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, a lot of people are shocked to hear that it's not done by a system, that a tornado warning doesn't just get issued by the weather service and the sirens automatically activate. Dispatcher has to not only be answering the phone calls and talking on the radio, they also have to be paying attention to what's going on outside the building. They're not outside. They have a few windows inside their office. They get teletypes and messages like we do through various resources, but they are also, like I said, answering the telephone, talking on the radio, dealing with emergencies elsewhere in the county. And that's what we rely on now, to pay attention to that when a tornado warning is issued, they have to physically hit a button to activate our storm sirens.
And what system will trigger it, I guess, now? I mean,
So the way that this works is it's computer-based, and it looks for polygons that are issued by the National Weather Service. If Sikeston falls into one of those polygons, or we'll be able to tie in the other 5 communities that we assist on setting off the sirens for. If one of those falls into a polygon, the system can parse that out and automatically trigger the radio notification to those siren systems.
for the different communities?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that just because Blodgett's storm siren goes off, that Sikeston's storm siren will go off. It's all based on the polygons that are issued out there. So if anybody follows St. Louis news, there was a news article today of St. Clair County where the storm sirens activated and nobody knew about it. Everybody gets used to a test or used to warnings from the Weather Service and kind of disregards, or I feel like the disregard. If it's not any more than a thunderstorm warning, we just don't care. Well, I think that's kind of what happened up here, or just based off what I just read, that's what it sounds like happened. They were experiencing severe weather or had a forecast for severe weather, but no tornado warning was issued, so there was no polygon that we're talking about in this situation. But first responders observed a funnel cloud. They relayed that information, and based on the information that the EMA had received up there, they activated the countywide system. So they just released that news update a few minutes ago. So we'll still be able to do that too. We can activate manually, but this will make the overall activation automatic based off of the Weather Service.
And they will know that if it doesn't do it automatically, if something like that happens, to turn it on. They have to have a reason, though.
On the manual?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got all of our, they know what their policies and procedures are, and they know that a lot of that comes from on-duty staff that's out working in the elements, that if they observe something, they'll notify them and have them manually set the sirens off.
So I'm assuming that the other communities have the Wayland system.
They do not. Now, this has the ability to,
So how does it work with these other systems?
it's all radio frequency. So I think this one can house up to 3 different frequencies that it can activate various tones, storm siren tones off of. And if we add the others, all the county ones are done on one frequency. Sikeston is done on its own frequency, so it's only 2 of the 3. So we actually have room for growth if we ever needed it. So it will send out different tones on that frequency related to that city as it populates a polygon that encompasses the city.
So will the system, you said the system will be able to self-test ours. Can it self-test theirs?
No, sir. That's what makes it kind of a sole vendor type situation for us. We're the one footing the bill here. We're the one purchasing it for Sikeston, and I want to get the biggest bang for the buck that I can for our residents. So we invested in the Wayland storm system, and that's the benefit that we get back from that. We're able to integrate this and get the full features.
Any other questions or comments?
Is there any more additional, like, yearly fees that go along with this, or is this just one time?
He tells me it's the one-time fee and then about $2,000 a year, and that's like software updates and maintenance. I've been told that that's somewhat optional, which I don't like. I'd just rather pay the bill and make sure that we're up to date. They've seen it where several places don't pay that $2,000, but when a large update from the company that overseas rapid warn comes out that they know they have to push, they end up pushing that and not charging for it. But you're taking a gamble there. We'll pay the bill and move on down the road. Make sure that we're up to date.
You said this is a budget item already?
The budget that we have right now has funds available to cover the cost.
What did you say about the 911 money?
That's the budget that the Sikeston 911 budget is what we're going to take it out of.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept the motion.
Make a motion that we approve the rapid warn alerting system.
Second.
Motion made second. Roll call vote. Rhonda, please.
Ware,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bizzle,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Peach Out,
Yes.
and Turnbow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Are there any other items to be brought before the council tonight? We have you want to stand up and tell them what you're, as far as being in town, when I met you earlier this afternoon?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Good evening, community. My name is Reverend Dinah Tatman. I am the new pastor of Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church, located at 300 Westgate. And so we were here today canvassing. We're not in the building yet, but we do have grants that we're pending to find out next month, and we'll be able to get some engineering work done. So I'm going to be looking for some people in the room and some construction done. We just want to say that I want to be able to be a part of this community. I live in St. Louis, but I pastor 2 churches. So I also pastor St. John African Methodist Episcopal Church in Kennett. So I just wanted to avail myself and get familiar with the council and the mayor and become an intricate part of the solutions. I'm excited. I was looking at the agenda, so there's a lot going on here. So thank you, Mayor.
We just want to say welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. The chair would accept a motion to adjourn into executive.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now in executive session.